Welcome to the weekend edition where we do a little bit extra breath and we concentrate on some kind of myofascial technique. Today we'll do the knee. And like I said in my message, if you came from the website, you didn't see the message, but as I said in my message, I will show a knee technique with the ball, but with the knee, what's really much more effective is a dowel. So if you have a dowel, I realize no one really has a dowel except for me, but if you have anything that resembles a dowel, it actually works really so much better. So a cane or a rolling pin. I have a rolling pin behind me, or a bottle of wine. So a full bottle is better probably, but an empty bottle will do. So we'll just make do. If you have such a thing in your house, maybe take a few minutes now and run and get it while we're sort of setting up for the breath work. Okay, I can't see anybody for some reason today. I'm going to switch it up. There we go. Hi, Karina. Nice orange shirt. Okay. Hi, Ismat. Okay. Take a breath. Bring your lips together. Swallow to release your throat if you need to. You can leave your eyes open for a few minutes and just notice the rise and fall of your chest. And wherever you are, wherever you have come from, if you were working, or if it's the end of your day or the beginning of your day, sometimes Yumi joins us from Japan. I don't know what time it is there, but no matter what time of the day it is, just notice what it takes for you to stop. That's really what you're doing right now. You're stopping your day. Some of you might have a practice of napping or some other practice that allows you to stop, maybe journaling or a hobby or something. But in general, it's not easy for us to stop. Practice that skill, stopping just for a while. It's just 45 minutes. You can come back to it. And I guarantee if it's work you're going back to, you'll be more efficient. If it's housework, it can wait. If it's the news, it can definitely wait. Begin to deepen your breath a little. Close your eyes now. And notice how long it takes for your body to settle, your mind to settle. Watch your thoughts. They may be still racing ahead or lagging behind. Do something you're going to do or something you wish you had done. Allow your thoughts to catch up and to be here. And this is a little tiny meditation that we do at the beginning of every practice. And we're using one of the age-old meditation techniques, which is watching the breath. You can also count the breath. Let's do that for a few breaths. Now, if you like, you can keep counting, or you can begin to say mentally, inhale and exhale. This is a muscle. Keep going. This is a muscle that you will develop, this ability to stop and, I'm making air quotes, do nothing. So practice that for 3 more breaths, perhaps saying inhale, exhale with each cycle. Nowhere to be, nothing to do, just to be here. And now we'll practice Nadi Shodhana breath, alternate nostril breath, and you can pick your favorite. So you can pick if you like doing it with your two thumbs, you can, or you can curl your two fingers in like this and use your fourth finger and your thumb, or you can place your second and third finger on between your eyebrows on your third eye and go like that from side to side, thumb and fourth finger. Whatever you choose to do, take a deep inhale through your nose, lips together. Compress your right nostril and exhale, inhale through your left. Switch sides unless you want to concentrate on one nostril for one reason or another. Keep going. This is a breath technique called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. And of the many things that it does, probably the most important thing that it does is bring us to center. It's bilateral breath, and it brings us right into the center of our body. It brings our awareness into center. It does many other things, alternating from nostril to nostril as well. It kind of gives, if you've got a neglected nostril, that's a band name, neglected nostril. If you have a neglected nostril, it will expose it to more air. And we talked about nitric oxide the other day. That's also in a blog post that's about to go up. So it also increases nitric oxide production in that side of your nose, evens out your nostrils, which is really important. And it's also a way of slowing down the breath, because of course the breath now is not going through two nostrils, it's just going through one. So that's a bottleneck, and it slows the breath right down, regulates it. Just another technique for slowing down the breath. Take two more breaths like this, two more breath cycles, and when you're done, return your hand to your leg or your lap. And take a couple of breath cycles through both nostrils. Notice if you feel a difference. We've been doing breath work for 45 days now, maybe more, maybe almost 60. I don't know. I've totally lost track. It's very likely that you're noticing some differences. I know that I definitely am. I have a daily breath practice that goes along with my meditation in the morning. But doing it again like this is super awesome, doubles my benefits. Okay, after you've taken a couple of breaths, bring your hands to your ribs. We've done this lots of times before. You can even point your fingers towards the floor, or you can point them towards the front. And you can even point them towards the back, but I don't think that's comfortable. Choose whichever is more comfortable. And your hands don't have to be up super high, like your thumbs don't have to be in your armpits. Your hands can be down almost to your waist, as long as you can feel your ribs. And take a couple of breaths into your hands, spreading your ribs wide through your nostrils. If you've ever been a smoker, this kind of work is one of the most beneficial things you can do. Or even if you are a smoker, and even an occasional smoker, this kind of work can really, and it's quite well documented that this kind of work can bring you back lung function, lung health. Okay, we are going to breathe into our right hand, but a little twists. I think we've done this before a while ago. Try to breathe into your right lung with your right nostril. See if your left hand can only move minimally, but your right hand can move quite a bit. Exhale through that same nostril. This is an energetic Nadi Shodhana, so we're not physically closing the nostrils. Try the left side. Exhale left. Take one with both nostrils into both lungs. And then exhale, just feel the difference there. And you get the idea, right nostril, right lung, right hand. At your own pace. Left nostril, left lung, left hand. Both nostrils, both lungs, both hands. Make that central breath really as big as you can, and then exhale as far as you can. And one more time through right side. Left side, you might find yourself lifting your left shoulder. And then a huge breath and hold at the top. Hold, everyone, release your hands, hold. Shoulders are low though, shoulders are not up in the emergency zone. Shoulders are low, but your breath is in and long. And then we're gonna exhale, release as long as you can. Take as long and exhale as you can through your nose. Just tiny little stream of air. Return to a normal breath. Notice any differences. Sit with your breath now, a couple of breaths. See what you can relax in your back body. Can you release your shoulder blades, your rhomboids, those little ribbony muscles between your shoulder blades? Can you release these muscles here on your shoulders? Can you release the muscles of your neck? Can you even make your shoulders heavy, like kind of like lead, as if they're full of lead pellets? Just let them sag down, not forward, but straight down. Okay, that's all the breath that we're going to do today, because I want to spend a bit more time on the knees today. So that's about 13 minutes. I'm going to move back to my chair and my wine bottle and we'll just get going with a couple of rounds of sun salute. Do you see my half finished wine bottle? Okay, so come to your chair. If you're seated, you probably want to come to standing. If you're seated on the floor, it's pretty hard to do these sun salutes when you're seated on the floor, but it's possible. You can kind of ad lib if you want to. I'll do the first one with my knees bent, and then I'll do the second one standing, and the third one I'll do with my legs extended. Inhale your arms overhead. And remember, this is your warm up. So breath is long, using that breath that you just practiced. Exhale, fold. First one is very slow. Inhale, long spine, hands on knees, lift your chest, use your back muscles, and then exhale, fold. Inhale your right knee in. Exhale, tuck down, forehead towards your knee. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, neutral or downward facing dog. Inhale, cow pose. Bring your chest forward, extend your chin, begin to warm up the tissue under your chin. Exhale, cat pose, compress the tissue under your chin. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, round. Inhale, long spine. And we're forward folding again. And remember, these don't have to be a lot of exertion. They can be. It's up to you. Inhale, long spine. The first one especially can be very soft and gentle, even just a breath exercise. Inhale up. But the breath is important, full breaths. Other side, inhale fully. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, fully extend your spine. Exhale, fully unravel your spine. Inhale, fully pull your knee up, lengthen your spine, make space. Exhale, curl. Flex your spine. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, neutral pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose, round your spine. Inhale, right knee in. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, long spine. This is the most important part of it, I think. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, full exhale. And now really grow. Inhale, long. Exhale, neutral. Now you can exhale your legs in the chair. Or if you want to try one standing, I'll come to standing. Take a breath to prepare. Inhale fully, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, spine parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right knee comes up to the chest or steps back into a fold. Exhale, curl, roll your spine. Exhale down into this deep lunge. Big inhale, straighten your spine if you're sitting up. Exhale, neutral pose or downward facing dog. Inhale, upward dog or cow pose if you're seated. Exhale, downward dog or cat pose if you're seated. This is where it's different. Left knee in if you're seated. Right leg forward if you're on the floor. Exhale, round your spine. Drop down into your lunge if you're standing. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, no matter where you are. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, scoop through molasses all the way up. Feel into your fingertips and toe tips. Exhale, neutral. That's half of a sun salute. Other side. I'll be a little more vigorous this time with a little back bend and a huge forward fold. Shoulder blades come down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. This time, left knee comes in or goes back into a lunge. Inhale, long spine. And exhale down. Big inhale, long spine. Big exhale. I'm sorry, I'm pausing here because I kind of lost the thread. But you can do that in the sun salute. Big inhale. Exhale, neutral pose or downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, upward facing dog or cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog or cat pose. And this is where it's different. Inhale, your left foot forward if you're standing and your right foot up if you're seated. Exhale down, curl your spine if you're seated. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Big inhale, half lift. Big exhale, delicious forward fold here. Inhale, scoop through, honey. Exhale, neutral. I'll do the last one seated. We'll go a little faster. Come to the edge of your chair and extend your legs if you like. Inhale, overhead. So we're really going to flow this time. See how much of it you remember. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, right knee up. We're speeding up the breath. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, left knee in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long, use your arms. Forward fold. Half lift. Let your movements flow together like a dance. A sun salute is also a little dance. It's a little dance on your breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, curl. Make yourself small. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, right knee in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, last long spine. Exhale, extend your legs, push your heels into the ground. Waterfall forward. Inhale, long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, sit. Drop your hands, palms up, drop your shoulders, soften your neck, take a breath. Notice any tingling or anything that's happening in your whole body. See if you can feel your fingertips, your toe tips. And the reason that we do sun salutes is to get all of your fascial bodysuit moving so that the rest of the poses that we do, and especially the myofascial release, are more effective. It also has other benefits, of course, like getting your heart pumping and moving your digestive organs and all of that good stuff. Okay, flutter your eyes open. Let's go. Knees. Okay, so knees. I do love knees. Knees are amazing joints. So I'm going to show you with the ball first. And the ball is less effective, like I said, for the knee joint. Yeah, okay, I'll do both. So knees, it really, with the ball, it really depends what kind of ball you have. If you have a ball that doesn't roll like mine, it's really hard. But what we're going to do, the aim of what we're going to do here, we're going to do two things. First of all, we're going to warm up the tissues around the knees. We're going to do three things. We're going to warm up the tissues around the knees. Then we're going to stretch the joint a little bit. And then we're going to do some strength work. So with knees, they're really a funny joint. They often cause you pain, and there's a bunch of different ways that they can cause you pain. Obviously, you can have pain from a pathology, like a torn ligament or arthritis or anything like that. That's one obvious cause of pain. But sometimes those things can be caused by an inequality or something tighter on one side. Let's say you do a lot of running, you can have a tight IT band or something like that, and you can have different structures pulling differently. And so then you can imagine if you have a joint and you have structures, a joint that's supposed to be like this, and you have structures pulling it like this, of course you're going to get some unusual wear and tear. So knees are kind of a funny thing in that really one of the best things you can do is actually strengthen the tissue around them, strengthen it and make it symmetrical. So with a ball, it's not really so effective, but it's possible. So I'm just going to warm up the back tissues of my calf. I'm just rubbing the ball along my leg. This is not super awesome for my ball because my ball is a Jill Miller ball and it's kind of like skin, so it kind of gets wrecked, but that's okay. I'm going to rub the muscles of the calf. I can rub this little muscle that goes along the tibia here. And then I can also warm up all of my quadriceps that are coming into my knee. So the muscles on top, there are 4 of them. They're called the quadriceps. And they all kind of, a lot of them end here at this strap that goes through. It kind of sandwiches your patella, your kneecap. So we can warm all of those up. And then you can warm up your hamstrings, which come along the back of your leg. So that's the ball. And it's not really my favorite way to work with the knees. A golf ball, ironically, is actually better because it's got some little dimples in it and it's a bit harder. But my favorite way to warm up the fascia of the knee is with a dowel. So if you have a cane or something, and it doesn't have to be one that moves. This one is a fancy one and it rolls like a rolling pin. So if you have a rolling pin, you can also use a rolling pin, my rolling pin. You can roll this tissue here. And you can do the same down here. Keep your breath long when you're doing this, and you can also roll out your hamstrings underneath. Soften up the muscles of your leg and do the tissues under your knees as well. This is sometimes a little more effective when you're sitting down because you can soften up your knee a little more. You can make your knee really soft and you can kind of lift your foot off the floor and make it really, really soft under there. So that's a couple of ways. And if you're using like a cane or something, you can still do that. That's one of my favorite things is a wooden dowel. It's a little bit hard on your tights or whatever you're wearing. And I'm wearing white pants, so I'm being a bit careful. So do both sides. I'm going to show the wine bottle next, don't worry. So you can do both sides. All that I just talked about. So just to go over it again, there's the calf. There's those big juicy muscles of the calf. There's this little tiny muscle that runs between your tibia and your fibia, right there on sort of the outside of your shin. Then there's all the quadriceps that come into your knee. And you can feel them tingling as you work them. And then there's your hamstrings and then the underside of your knee. And there's a lot of complicated nerve bundles under your knee, so you'll probably feel quite a bit if you can get it loose enough under your knee. So you can do all of those things also with a wine bottle. And a wine bottle is actually kind of nice because it's slippery. I'm being really careful because I have white pants on here and this is like red wine. But you can just take this as if it was a dowel. It's not so good for, well, you can just see, it's not so good for under the leg, but it works fine for up here. And it works fine for the shin. So give your legs a good workout, and the bigger the object that you use, the more of a workout your arms get here. So get all that tissue nice and warmed up. The other nice thing about a wine bottle is it has that little ridge on it, so you can use it to get into, there's a little part of your hamstrings that comes in here that's quite sensitive. You can use that little neck of the wine bottle to really get in there. You just turn it. I think I'm getting wine on my pants. Anyway, so get your legs all warmed up and then give them a little kick. So after you do this kind of work, especially with the big muscles of your legs, you may notice some differences. Like you might notice that you have to pee more. Now we're going to move into a little bit of joint opening. So you can do that. Actually, let's go into a bit of strengthening. We'll do a little bit of joint opening at the end. So the first bit of strengthening that we want to do around the knee is just lifting the legs. So just lift and bend your right leg, spread your toes apart. If you're standing, it looks like this. Just a couple of times, each leg. Do it mindfully. Feel your left foot on the floor. You can also attach one of those big elastic bands to your chair when you do this. It's really awesome. This is for your hamstrings. Just a couple more with the first leg and then the second leg. And I like to, if I'm seated, I like to keep my knees kind of in one line. Try not to raise one knee too much. And just keep your breath long. And now, if you're seated and you can, move back on the chair, extend your legs in front of you and point and flex. If you're standing, come up onto tiptoes and down, tiptoes and down. Point and flex. So we're working the bottom of the chain here. This is a kinetic chain. Your knees are in the middle of the kinetic chain of your legs. So we're very concerned with knees about the hips and the ankles. So last breath, point and flex. Okay. And now we're going to do IT bands. So come off of your chair and just come to the side of your chair and bring your outside leg to the inside. Cross it over. And then holding onto your chair, just take a side bend towards the chair. Lift your outside arm up and over. You can do this sitting down if you like. You just extend your leg and take a side bend, but it's not quite as effective. You don't get quite as much into the IT band. You can also just do this in forward fold. We do this quite a bit in forward fold, and I'll show you that next. So bending towards the chair, weight on both legs. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths. So this is working the top of the chain, the IT band. Last breath. Walk around to the other side of your chair. So much paraphernalia here. Take your outside foot over your inside foot. Take your outside arm up and bend towards the chair. Deepen your breath. If you want to, you can look under your armpit up towards the ceiling. And take a few more breaths. Release. Come back to the chair. And we're going to do clamshell. So clamshell on, oh, I was going to show you the forward fold. Okay, well, forward fold, you can do it. It's just pretty much the same as we just did. You can do it in the chair or you could do it standing. Standing, it's really one of those classic things that runners do, right? Put your right foot over your left and exhale, forward fold. Same thing in the chair. Put your right foot over your left. Take a forward fold. Big breaths. Gently switch feet. If you're in forward fold standing, you don't even have to unforward fold. You can just switch your feet and fold. If you're seated, you might get a little less in your IT band here. You might get a little more under your knee, but like we talked about, that under knee area is really full of stuff going on. Really important to get work in there too. Come back up. And we'll just do a couple of clamshells. And I'll do them on the floor as well as in the chair. So we're just gonna open and close our right leg. This is getting up all the way around your upper leg. And clamshell on the floor just looks like this. Just a couple more. Really trying to develop some strength specifically in and around the top of the chain. Last one, and we're going to switch sides. You can use your hand to help. If you want to stay in your chair and this is not enough, you can do a rotary clamshell, where your clamshell makes a big circle with your knee. You'll feel some popping and cracking. And if you have your hand on your knee, you'll feel all the tissues that are going into your knee moving around. Top of the chain work here. Switch directions if you're doing your rotary stuff. Switch sides if you're on the floor for sure. And then just come to rest. Notice any tingling in your legs, anything happening there. So I'm just going to show you a little compression that you can do, and then we'll go into our last exercise. So if you're on the chair and you have a ball, you can place it in the hinge joint of your knee. And then you can grab your ankle. You can also do this with a strap. You can grab your shin or your ankle and just give a little tug here. So this is working that area behind your knee that I was talking about. And you can do that both sides. So you can do that now. If you're on the floor, you can you can do the same thing. You can have your ball in your hip, in your knee joint, or you can take whatever you're using here and place it. You have to really work up to this. If you have something in this knee joint, in this hip joint, and this hinge joint of your knee, this is pretty small, so it doesn't really matter, but you definitely can't like put a wine bottle in there. Well, I don't know, maybe we can. No, you might be able to do one at a time. So you have to take this stuff very slowly. Use your breath very long. And just go to the very edge of your abilities. Watch for any overt sensation. So a couple more breaths of that, and then we're going to stand up again for the last pose. If you're on the floor, you can stay on the floor. If you're on the floor, it looks like this. Pulling your heel into your bum. If you're on the chair, it's a lot easier just to stand up off your chair. Hold on to it. Grab your leg or your ankle and pull. If you want to stay here, you can be in exactly the same position that we just did with the ball here, except with no ball. Just grab your ankle or your shin and pull your heel towards your bum. And then you can begin to point your knee towards the floor. And it's pretty obvious where this is working. This is working from the top of the chain down to the top of your knee. So choose your pose. Take a few breaths on each side. Lengthen out your breath, soften your knee, soften the rest of your body. And when you're done, come back to center, extend your legs, take a little flutter kick. Place your feet on the floor, and your hands on your thighs, palms facing up. Swallow to release your throat. Come into Shavasana if you're on the floor. Lengthen your breath. And today I'd like to do a little visualization instead of a relaxation, just to review what we've learned. So get as soft as you can. And then bring your attention to your ankles and toes, the bottom of the chain. And then bring your attention to your shins and your calves. And just, if you can, just feel the echoes of the work that we did back there. Either rolling our ball or our dowel, whatever, our wine bottle. Softening up the fascia and the muscles. Very, very powerful muscles back there. Let them be soft now. Notice the back of your knees. Notice any tingling there. Let that be soft. Moving towards the top of the chain now. Feel your hamstrings. Hamstrings are partially in your chair. Feel any echoes of the work that we did there. Wine bottles, rolling pins. So many ways to manipulate the fascia. And let your awareness slide now up over top of your thighs, just under your hands. And notice any juiciness there. Any tingling. And begin to brighten your breath a little. Your eyes gently flicker open. Thank you so much, everyone.